Hello people, welcome to my first video regarding my skill sets. This video is based on a skill sets for talents. When people maybe refer it to crowd control, or what I prefer to call it if we're putting on running with my friends, members of the clan, is the status build. Now I find this personally very effective against the Black Tusk currently. I have used it also in running control points on heroic, and I can go through that after I've broken this down. So, start off with running the crossbow. The reason I'm running this is for mainly the grenades that it offers potentially. So the incinerate ignite detonation of fire will apply burn to any enemy caught in the blast. Burn will drain the enemy's health over time. Again, another status that can affect the enemy, which will obviously help within this build on the small amount of weapon damage we can do, but could be very effective. Talking about the weapons, we'll go into those now. So, my primary weapon is the Everlasting Gaze. This is down for its talent, really. Perfect preparation. Headshots grant 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. Cooldown 16 seconds. So very effective. Obviously, you can hit those headshots and keep applying those status issues to the PvE or PvP, wherever you decide to run this in. It's been rolled with 10% damage to target out of cover, just because to give me that extra foreseeable weapon damage while the enemies are out of cover in a status of effect. On here, I'm running the VX1 scope for the extra 35% headshot to just help, again, take out those enemies. We're then obviously improving our critical hit chance by 5% with the laser pointer, the muzzle breaker, 5% critical hit chance again, and just the extra rounds, just to, because it's a rifle one, you can't go wrong with a few extra bullets in the rifle mag. Our secondary weapon is Sweet Dreams. Now, I have been toying with this and playing the idea that, yeah, Sweet Dreams is great. It's not the best rolls on this weapon, but really all you're utilising this for is its talents. The sidearm melee attacks instantly kill non-elite enemies. So that means if you're in a sticky situation, or in a situation where you need to get yourself into, which I find myself to undercover, you can instantly take out a red or purple enemy, and then obviously get yourself set to go into whatever combat you're going into. My holstered weapon is just a boomstick shotgun, again, for that sticky situation. 2 bullets, massive impact when you need it. Hopefully enemies are down low on health by this point, so you can apply a lot of damage. So let's go on and build itself then. So we are running a 2-piece woven with a 3-piece china with the exotic backpack. So first off is the woven mask. So we're going for the 2-piece here because obviously 2-piece, which gets us an extra 10% status effect. You'll see on here I've rolled maxed out status effect on here, and then increased the skill haste on the skills with skill haste and a skill haste mod. Our first piece of china, is our chest piece. Now on here we've got would like ideally a better skill effects on here, but roll skill haste, and then obviously got a skill haste mod in here. Talent is obliterate, critical hit increases total weapon damage 1% for 5 seconds, stacks up to 15 times. Again, this is the best rolled chest I had at the time, so obliterate isn't a bad talent to have across anything in any build. Some people would say maybe tag team would be better off on this chest piece to run when supporting other players and just to help your skills. But obliterate is good. It does activate quite quickly, and it does stack quite nicely once you start hitting those headshots. So our holster is our second piece woven wear. Again, re-rolled for maxed out status effect on here, decent skill haste, which obviously then, because it's our second woven wear, this gives us our extra 10% status effect damage that we can put out there. So we'll now move on to our knees, and knees being China Light, maxed out status effect again. Skill haste is okay. Always would like to get those god rolls on any gear that we're running these days, wouldn't we? I think we're all out there trying to do that at the moment. Gloves, this is our final piece of China. So while the first piece gives us, it's a bit quite redundant with explosive damage, it does help obviously on those incendiary grenades that we offer. It then obviously has the 10% skill haste, and then obviously the third piece gives us an additional 10% status effect. Again, on this one, you can see the rolls are pretty good, if not 1% short of being god roll. Rolled skill haste on here, with the skill effects being so high. And then our final piece to complete the set is the exotic backpack Acosta Go Bag. Not a bad roll on these, to be fair. I've had this bag dropped for me a few times, and this is the best one I've had so far. Obviously, what we're utilising this for is its talents, because of the overcharge. As we're tier 6 and everything, obviously you throw that grenade out there and it lands, you get that overcharge, which massively helps on any status effects, prolonging it. Also gives you, I think, additional count targets you can count with your status effects. And then with the pulse, again, it just keeps that going longer, and actually each radius opens up quite a lot, which I'll explain. But obviously in here you get the extra armor, the 3 extra grenades, 25% ammo. You guys can see it. It's worth running, doing a skill build. Doesn't have to be status. It could be skill heal, skill damage. I do have other skill builds that I do. I don't run this bag in my skill damage, but it's there in my skill health when I'm playing as the health runner. And it's also obviously here in my status build. So that's the build there, guys, on the gear. We'll go down to the talents now. So first of all, I am running the Blinder Firefly. So you see the cooldown is 21.9 seconds of max targets of 10. Its health is okay. Its speed could be faster. If I could prepare to sacrifice elsewhere within these little add-ons, probably would do. So we'll go down to tier 6. So we get 6 targets plus speed of 210% and blind efficient duration of 120. We then overcharge that. We get then 10 max targets. The speed massively increases to 200. Well, not massively, but increases to 250%, which is very fast when it's out there. And your blind effect duration is increased heavily to 200%, which you'll notice even on named guys, you can put them down quite quickly once they're blinded with a team that are doing that very good DPS. So on here, we're running an additional skill haste of 6.7%. I've then got an extra blind effect duration of 6.7. I think I've got a 6.9 there, so that's see needs updating. And then we have got the additional max targets. If I had maybe additional, apart from max targets here, I would probably look at running additional skill haste, or if there was, I'm not sure what else you can get in that slot. We then run the pulse. We're running the pulse. So on the pulse, cooldown 14 seconds, EMP duration 15.1 seconds, radius 34 meters. Charge time 2 seconds to get up to max. As I say, we're in at tier 6. The radius is increased by 60%, and effect duration increased by 60%. And then if you overcharge, radius by 150%, effect duration by 100%, and charge speed by 100%. So instantly that charge speed when you're out there, if you build this correctly, then you can fill room very easily to pulse them out. And again, against a Black Tusk, very effective. So here you'll see I've got an increased radius of 9.7%. and effect duration, just to keep it hanging out there for a bit longer, of 9.7. So that's it really, guys. The things I did mention at the beginning of this video was that I was running this with a 3-man team doing heroic control points. All I swapped out was the pulse, because we weren't facing Black Tusk on an ongoing basis. It was a mixture of True Sons and Outcast, whereas I put the trap on. Very effective. Again, you get another status effect on here, the shock. So it does help obviously yourself and any team members that are looking to do some status damage. I try to apply the shock just in front of us, so if any rushes or we do get caught short, that's there. And with the blind, it's very, very effective taking out those control points on heroic in a more than a 2-man team that are running at DPS. I'll just run through the stats on this. So tier 6, you get 10 traps and a shock radius at 60% of a shock duration of 6%. You overcharge that and you get 12 traps. Duration is increased to 200%, which is massive and very, very effective, as I say, when you feel that you're going to be potentially overrun by enemies coming at you, and your shock radius is 70%. I'll go through what I've got applied on there, so you can see how that's built. We have got an additional duration of 4.5%, and then down here we've got an additional shock radius of 6.6%, just to give us a better option of when obviously enemies are going to be running into that trap. The one thing that I was thinking about playing with, as I got it the other day, which I found could be very effective in such as, was I had a tactical MK16 drop. Again, it's got that preparation talent on there, very good roll on here. Could have rolled it to max assault rifle damage, headshots grant 50% status effect damage duration to next status, so it just helps us cause more status damage if we wish to, and it's an assault rifle. You'll see the way I've got this built is I've got the critical hit chance C79 scope. We then got the critical hit chance C79. We then got the laser pointer, which is another 5% critical hit chance, and then I've got the muzzle breaker for another critical hit chance, with then the additional rounds, because more bullets means more fun, means more damage in my eyes. So that would be another potential option. You could run 2 of your weapons with preparation just to increase that status effect. We go through the stats. You'll see my weapon damage is it's okay. You're not going to be the guy that's doing the damage out there. You are just there to crowd control and cause a status effect to those enemies, while the others can take out. And as I say, you can be very, very effective running darker on this one. I've been very impressed with this build. Takes out those war dogs, and those very, very quickly, puts them down, allows the team to take them out quite quickly, and then obviously anyone else, including the big tank builders, they can be blinded. And then on the final stage, where you've got the mortars and everything coming in, it takes out the first round, it takes out those dogs, it takes out those gun turrets, while your team can then work through the enemies to the gun turrets without taking too much damage. Crit hit chance is at 10%, not great, but obviously that's where we're just watching with the weapons, which I add a little bit. Crit hit damage is 39%, headshot damage 95%. Get past all this because obviously we're not going to be, as our output damage isn't great. So there you go. Firefly skill haste 114% cooldown, 21.9 seconds. Max targets. As you can see here, I say speed would. I wouldn't worry about that. As I said, I did say probably if I had a good slot to put it in, but obviously when you go into overcharge, that speed is increased so much that I wouldn't really worry about that. Trying to put a speed in there. And then for our trap, You can see what it offers there. 114% skill haste, cooldown 23.4 seconds. But it's out there and it's lasting for a long time. So I'm just going to put back the pulse, because that's how I'll run it. And that's it really, guys. I'll try and upload some footage of what this does as a status build for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then obviously any follows or likes would be massively appreciated. This is my first video out there, so looking to put some more out there if obviously I get a good feedback on this one. Yeah, so that's great. Thanks for your help and support, guys. Look after yourselves and stay safe.